Hello and welcome back. It's time to get rocking. It's Major number 1. Maven here, joined by Merc, and we've got Guerrillas versus Subliners battling for a top 4 position. And hell, Joe, I think both teams, considering how the season has gone so far, you get a top 4, you're feeling good.
I was just going to say, maybe a matchup that we didn't think we were going to have today to start the day, but no, Guerrillas get that winner's round. One victory puts them in this position in New York last night. You know, they win a game 5. They're able to get here. It's a bit of a momentum. It's a streaky thing for the New York Subliners. It feels like they win a lot, they lose a lot, but they started winning again last night.
Yeah, they have been streaky. That is absolutely true, but the team with a big upset, a team we found in the winner's bracket that we did not expect. Excited to see if they can continue to make some noise. It's the Guerrillas. Let's meet the squad.
The Guerrillas getting it done. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the LAG. Silly finds the first. Lovely teamwork. My God.
Dealt with the pressure inside the hill and the double nade from aBeZy.
Salt lines him up, finds himself too.
Vivid just has the one to win against Octane.
And Vivid has got his number. Beautiful round. Fantastic execution from the LA Guerrillas.
Oh yeah.
It's a team filled with players that struggled mightily last year. They're trying to bounce back. They're trying to capture that magic for 3 of the 4 guys that won the World Championship back in Call of Duty World War II. Joe, is there a chance for some magic here?
I think, of course, yeah. I mean, we know fundamentally they are going to be a solid team. They are a team when you get deeper into the series, if they can maybe get to that Game 5. I don't think they're a team that a lot of people want to play in a Game 5 search and destroy. They have the experience, the veteranship, like you said, the championships under their belt. It's just sort of a simple, can they find a balance between, at times they're inconsistent.
Yeah, and like it's a tale of 2 total opposites, where on one team, you have kind of one young player in Vivid. On the other team, you have like one veteran in Clay surrounded by youth. Like it's inexperience versus experience massively here. And it's going to be awesome to watch and see how it plays out. But for NYSL, you've been hot, you've been cold. You're looking to catch fire here as you continue on through our first major. Let's meet NYSL.
Don't let us down. Bring home a championship. Not 1, not 2, maybe 3 or 4.
Yo, Clayster, if you don't bring home the championship, you out of here, boy.
Hey, if there's one thing about the city that I understand, it's that they don't tolerate losing.
He's in from behind again. Clayster with 2.
So I'm bringing championships. We're bringing them by the dozen.
Just make sure the snipes is hitting. Headshots only. Anything higher than the headshot is uncivilized.
What a Zuma is? Zoom keeps on zooming.
The stallion is frying. The stallion is cooking.
Not quite what I was thinking. You guys are gonna kill it out there.
Good luck this season.
Thank you guys so much. This season's for y'all.
Subliners, way to go. New York's behind you 100%.
We're bringing a championship to New York City.
Joe, you mentioned the streakiness with this team. Like literally you look at it's like lose 3 maps in a row, win 5 maps, lose 5 maps, win 8 maps. Like it's just on off, and obviously that can be matchup dependent, but there has been a streakiness with this squad. Why do you think that is?
Oh, well, I think it's a momentum thing. You know, it's kind of like what we talked about, where on the other side, maybe that the experience or inexperience hurts them at times, right? You kind of heard Clay's interview last night where, I mean, it's been tough for him mentally, just trying to get everybody on the same page. And maybe when he's down and sort of out of it, they just kind of follow him. And, you know, you just look at your leader. And if your leader is in a good vibe, then maybe that helps them.
Yeah, I was surprised to kind of hear how blunt he was with it, how like mentally taxing it has been to try and be like this sole leader. Because you think back to last year, like years past where he's had young talent, there's been like another veteran piece like Crim last year. He's kind of holding it all himself right now, but let's look at the game field keys to victory for NYSL. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, obviously it was a tough matchup in winners round 1, but Diamond needs to keep this confidence from his win over Florida. He was the consistent piece from game 1 to game 5. Was it a reverse sweep? Yes, but in games 1 and game 2, Diamond was the bright spot. Mack needs to be the X factor, especially in that game 3 control. Did a 1.33 in their wins and a 0.79 in losses. And then what we talked about, Clay has to find that balance between leading and his own individual performance. we've seen it in the past where if there's an in-game leader who's so focused on getting everyone else on the same page, their stats come down. To me, you had all the preparation, you do what you have to do to get them on the same page, but Clay has to focus on himself at times.
Yeah, we'll see if he can find that balance. It's going to be crucial here to do so. But let's take a look at the game fuel keys to victory on the other side of this for Guerrillas. And what stood out to you, Joe?
Yeah, you have to find a balance between, the loss against Atlanta FaZe and the win against the LA Thieves. Feeling apathy especially. I mean, just look at the differences there. And can you meet somewhere in the middle? I think that's what we're kind of looking for, is sort of their consistency versus their inconsistency. They would keep up that same pressure. I mean, you saw it yesterday against the Atlanta FaZe. He was the one bright spot in the respawns. I mean, he was putting up massive damage for them. And the user experience to look for solutions to teams taking away raid, search and destroy, and raid control. You are not going to see that in this matchup. New York, they learned from yesterday. They learned what worked well against the Guerrillas and what Atlanta FaZe did. But you had a night off, and you fixed those mistakes maybe in those other maps. You're having Garrison control again. That is where the LA Guerrillas are 0-3.
Yeah, we touched on it versus their matchup with FaZe. We thought FaZe would ban both. They did ban both because that's the only place really Guerrillas had found wins. Yeah, same thing happens here, and can't say we're too surprised. Talking to some of the NYSL side, the feeling I got in chatting with someone was just like, they want to play straight up maps, force Guerrillas to outshoot them. They think they have the superior talent, and yeah, you could argue they do. It's the experience edge on Guerrillas, maybe the talent edge to Subliners, but this should be a good one. Hoping it goes the distance, but to map one checkmate we go. We're going to start off with Papa Apps POV, a man that can take over the map at any moment.
Absolutely can. And for LA Guerrillas, this was the map you lost it for the first time yesterday against Atlanta FaZe. But it was kind of, a tale of two halves. They almost brought it back. They had an opportunity to against the Atlanta FaZe. It was the hot start, though, for FaZe that was really the difference maker. Can they have a better start in this map one?
All for Apathy and Guerrillas. Really looking to contest his time as best you can and work to get the flip to the other side for the second point. They get a flurry of kills, and there it is. Instantly, they're able to spawn 2 out. So they've got a chance here to really break through, get some time, and take a massive lead if they can lock it down for second. Keep an eye on where the white arrows pop, where the purple arrows pop, and look at where number 3 spawns in Silly. They got the spawns they want. They've got all contested all the time. This has been flawless from Guerrillas so far.
Yeah, already a great start, a much better start. And as you said, you get to flip or that second hill. And this is where we've seen multiple games already, 90 to 100 point leads. Vivid, well, he's keeping up that pressure. 5-0 start for him. Maybe working on some streaks if he can find another kill. He's going to back up a little bit, try to play rotation. Going to have pressure from Asim down low. Asim, though, with a big kill to slow things down. But you see that scoreboard. They are down 38 points. Here comes the first push. You have Clayster on the hill, but Silly's able to win that one-on-one, and that first push gets smoked.
This has been brilliant so far from Guerrillas. The break, the flip, everything on point. Let's go to an Astro listen-in. The Los Angeles Guerrillas.
Tube and hill.
That's one out. In yellow crate. They're spawning. They might spawn on you.
Yeah.
They spawn there. They're all for there. 1-2, 1 fin. 1 fin, diamond.
Plays in yellow crate.
Yellow crate, ASD, really big for you. He's challenging you. One shot, top fin, diamond. One is two. Right.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, he's back.
ASD play. TJHaLy play 1 shot. I'm gonna spawn in the back probably.
One guy was going BSD or playing.
Yeah, spawn wall. I'm gonna try to get switching.
B wing, hold alley.
I'm all right. You
got a B. I don't see Clay.
Play ASD, one still on old. Bottom A wing.
Plays alley. Plays alley on you.
Nice, good wing.
Fuck, Asim is old. Asim's A search.
I'm still bottom playing. I'm trying to get into plane.
Search
on me. Yellow crate. Bottom A wing. B wing, diamond.
Get right.
Low B wing.
Low B wing now.
Tell me.
I'll see him.
Hurt you.
I spawn wood.
That pillar. Once. He's there. Top B wing. Clay. Top B wing. Clay. Actually. Clay dead. A wing side of hill. I spawn wood.
You guys low wing. I'm waiting for you.
Top B.
Diamond's weak, low wing.
I'm right side with you. Make sure somebody's wrapping a little bit. Let's hold for a kill.
Gotta go plan here. That's alley Asim.
Oh, A wing. Asim dead. Lay now, their side A wing. Middle of it. Weak.
That's 3, missing 1.
Could be in plane.
Stack or plane.
He's probably above me.
Right. I'm in plane. Left's open.
But I mean, low B wing.
I'm
Mack absolutely dead. Could be stacks.
Could be
Out plane.
I'll get time.
We gotta get time.
Well, we hop out of the listen-in and right back into the action. Vivid looking for a one-on-one with Clay, able to take him down. accruing some time here in the third point, getting ready to head over to fourth. You have the top left spawn if you're Guerrillas. And Subliners, they bring it back. They bring it to a tight game despite getting flipped out early. It's a close one.
A much needed time for New York Subliners after getting that hill flip and losing a majority of time on second. But they're bringing it back here. They're set up for fourth. Guerrillas, they do have the spawns for that next hill, but there's going to be some Subliner pushes coming on through. So we'll see if they can hang on and set up for number 5.
Yeah, they just got broken from the front pretty quickly, so nice job from NYSL to contest a lot of that time, but there's still 30 seconds here. A lot of time for Guerrillas, still holding mid lane, still holding the back spawns. So far, so good, putting themselves in a great position to push out to a lead. Assault, who's trying to lock it down, not an easy gunfight at close range for him, but Silly is able to take down 2. Vivid lines one up as well, and now 3 down for NYSL, and Mack is the 4th, will fall as well. Guerrillas have him right where they want him, and that number 1 on the map, and Vivid's going to be key. He is going to be key. He's the one watching the cross, holding the position for 5th, and he takes down 2. Fantastic stuff from Vivid.
Oh, but nobody played the safe spawns. Look at this. One player is going to spawn there, but Silly's able to pick that up. A nice pickup out of Silly and Salt. There's those fundamentals coming into play that we talk about with the Guerrillas. You just had full map control there with the transition from number 4 to number 5. So you see where the push is coming in from NYSL. It is so far away. First, they have to get plane control. Finally, with 35 seconds, you can get a contest. But a nice transition from Guerrillas, and the ability to pick up that spawn was huge.
Yeah, picking that up, and then, well, you mentioned plane control so big. Vivid went on a 6 spree in the plane, so he does a good job. But NYSL do eventually burst on through, just getting enough time in the scrap to chip away at this and make sure they don't run away with it. And, you know, you were talking about Clay and kind of how he has to find that balance. His stats and control in S&D have been absurd. It's hard point where it's been lacking a little bit. And you and I were kind of wondering if this is the kind of the hardest mode to find that balance, because you need to be that general a little bit more with the chaos of hard point.
Yeah, you absolutely can be, right? You're sort of so focused on the minimap at times, maybe the positions of your teammates. You don't want them making any like small mistakes. But the fact is, like I said, all of that is just in your practice and how you prepared. There's little that Clay can control, but the one thing he can control is his individual stats, right? And how he is playing. And I know it can be tough. I've been in a position like that before, but he's just got to focus. He's in a position right now to play for top 4. As we talked about, for New York Subliners, it's a good thing.
Yeah, and I think you feel all right if you think about the fact that, Clay and Mack both start around double negative at this point, and you're very much right in the game, right? Like, you hold down this time, you basically got a tie game, but Guerrillas doing everything they can do to contest, and they'll be set up nicely for second as it stands. But you survived a slow start in many spots, and you're still in it. The 3 come through for Guerrillas, trying to hunt down the last player in Asim, but he won't go down until the trade eventually comes in. But yep, look at the minimap, top right, Vivid Assault, spawning in a good position. A flood from NYSL now going through the opening pick, so crucial.
And again, it's just like when they're getting those kills, because New York, I mean, a couple of their pushes have just been, you know, when the hill is popped, but they have control. But Clay actually gets a kill. Asim is there. And because they get the kills on the hill, look at where Diamond and Clay spawn. Very close. So all the pressure through the front of the hill. They time it at a point where that will open up the spawn position. New York Subliners, a big break here. This 30 seconds, if they're able to hold on, will tie up this game.
Yeah, whoever it was spawned right after that Guerrillas member dropped it. He spawned like on the hard point, right behind it. The timing could not have been better. Great break there from NYSL, but breaking right back through for the final 20 is going to be Guerrillas. So they'll try and maintain this lead. And it feels like at times Guerrillas have had a chance to really open it up, but just haven't been able to run away with it. And part of that, Diamondcon, he's 23-16. You mentioned what a playmaker he has been and how he needs to be here. So far he is. He's kept them in the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been the consistent flex that you've needed. Like maybe where, you know, we talk about like where Clay's stats and hardpoint haven't been there. He has. He's just been so solid for them. But Mack is the one guy. 12, well, he was 9-19. Finally able to get a multi-kill. Maybe that can get him going. And as we sort of talked about, you're having a couple of players maybe lacking individually right now. If they can get beat up, you know, in these next couple of hills, that's where they can really open up this game for New York.
Maybe the chances now. Lead change. NYSL in front. Control of third. Spawns for fourth. They have Guerrillas right where they want them. What can they do behind it? Snapping everywhere is Mack nearly. takes down 3, but will 2 be enough for them to maintain control? Clay gets a big pick inside of the plane as we go to Diamondcon's POV to see what shots he's able to hit. Unfortunately for him, he's not in a one-on-one. There were 2 there, but Asim does pick up the scrap, takes out both, and now let's focus on our 4th hard point. Is NYSL their first chance to really do some damage here and build a lead of their own?
You do have Clay kind of up top of the plane. He's going to be watching that cross in a power position. Diamond able to take down 2. There's the crossfire that comes in from Clay. Vivid's going to be the last one up. Pretty balanced effort on the Guerrillas side, but it's a couple of breaks that are the difference maker for the Subliners. It's Vivid now trying to maybe work this pinch, try to flip the spawns for next. Nice shots from him. You can tell Mack, as soon as he spawns up, he has to focus on Vivid. Meanwhile, on the hill, it's Asim and Clayster just getting that time. Asim already with 2 minutes on the hill. And there, Mack and Diamondcon going to rotate on over. Guns heating on up. Subliners heating on up.
It can be streaky, and right now just starting to pop off. 41 points away from victory. That number 8 on the map is going to be Mack. He is in position at 5th, and they can seal the win here. Near the old hard point, it's still Clay and Asim fighting against the members of Guerrillas as they try to push forward towards the back. Clay's going to end up dropping. On the crossfire, you've got Diamondcon who's able to hit the shot, but from the front, it's aBeZy that gets in. You still spawn on the backside if you're Subliners, so you'll have a quick crack at this. Let's see what they're able to do.
Yeah, I like this from Diamondcon, though. He goes all the way around. He's able to make the play. He makes sure he blocks that spawn, and he's able to get it. And then Mack heating on up from 9 and 19, Maven, to 22 to 24. Now only 20 seconds away from closing out map number 1.
Mack's going up. Exactly what I was saying. You'd be happy to be in the spot they were, considering the stat line you were seeing for some players, but the Mack attack is alive and well as he was on 5 in a row. 3 in a row for Diamondcon at 29 and 22. Just 7 more points to close this one out. They no longer can finish it on this hard point. We'll head into our 3rd set of rotations, get back inside of the plane. In Guerrillas, they've got the position. They can do this. I know it looks scary if you're a Guerrillas fan with Subliners only needing 5 points. You've got plane control. You're set up for next. But Diamondcon may be upsetting all of that.
Yeah, it's just trying to win both battles. And what does New York want to do? They're going to go for the win. Clay and Diamond going to find the openings. Clay with 2. That should do it. One more player has an opportunity to get in, but it's Clay who finds the 3 multi-kill, and the Subliners win map 1.
You survive a slow start, and it's just funny because we talk about their streakiness kind of in series to series, but man, you saw it there just kind of in the map 1. Slow starts for Clay and Mack, but then they really start to heat up and pop off. And once that lead change happens, they never look back. Because it was what, like a 20 to 40 point advantage for Guerrillas for what, our first 7 or so hard points, something in that realm. And then as soon as Subliners take the lead, they take control, they go off. And you got to shout out a couple of things. I mean, one, Diamondcon keeping them in the game, because when you have a slow start from like Mack and Clay, not everyone can pop off at all times, don't get me wrong, but the fact that he was having a monster game, I think is what was keeping it as close as it was. And then once he started to get some help, once the teamwork was a little bit more on point, they ran away with it.
Well, yeah, the big break was that second hill on the second rotation. They were able to break those spawns. Guerrillas were really, really trying to, you know, get that momentum and really open up their lead there. But that gets Subliners to basically take the lead. And then you go to that 3rd and 4th hill, and it was just all Subliners, time and time again. The transition in number 5, that's where they put it away. And here's a look at those stats. And yeah, Asim, I mean, he leads the way in damage, but we talked about a Diamond, 31 kills, you know, from start to finish. And at the end of the game, it looks a lot more balanced. On the Guerrilla side, you got the balance that I think you and I were looking for, especially from Silly and aBeZy. But it was the fundamentals where usually they're so good, they got broke.
Yeah, and it's going to happen at times with the talent at this level. I mean, heck, we saw it in so many of the matches with these gassed. You think you've got the setup, you get smoked. Unfortunately, it happens to Guerrillas. They take the map 1 loss. NYSL go up 1-0 as we prepare for a search and destroy. It's championship weekend, baby. Don't go anywhere.
the New York Subliners. This is basically a brand new roster for the Subliners. All things have changed, and here we go. Clay once again comes up clutch.
He is the true veteran.
Diamondcon, oh, keeping this run going.
Asim has really been having himself a hell of a series. Mack popping up in the feed.
Shout out to Mack, that was a killer two-piece. And a fantastic end to the round there for New York.
Welcome back. NYSL up 1-0 after an incredible finish. We're going to take a look at the quick scope, see how these two teams have performed overall to this point. Joe, what are your big takeaways from this?
I mean, just looking at this is just sort of what we were talking about with New York, right? Just how close their map win percentages are in all three game modes. They've been going the distance. We talked about their streakiness. And then, you know, Guerrillas is a solid search and destroy team. But that 2-5 in control, that's a big focus for us because, well, 2 of those wins were on Fade. You look at the other 2 maps they played, and they don't have a win on Garrison, mate. So that obviously hurts them with their map pool, but we're going to Miami search and destroy. For New York, you're 2-2. On the Guerrilla side, you are 1-1.
Yeah, and I think why some of us are, you know, surprised to see, we've talked about, you know, Guerrillas making this run, but like coming into the major, they were, I believe it was of the 12 teams in the league, when you talk about kind of like map win percentage, wins versus losses, they were 10th. So they didn't have a great start. They weren't in a good spot, but they seem to have found some better form. But now to your key to victory, when Raid's not in play, where do you find the wins in S&D and control? How does the preparation go down to get ready for this? I know you can't widen your map pool overnight. I know it's difficult to do that, but you got to find something. Let's see what they can get done on Miami. But it was the hot stretch from NYSL that close out the map 1 victory. And Clay, he's sub out flying.
Well, I mean, you talk about preparation. I was going to say, New York, play this in a game 5, right? You played this in a game 5 last night if you are the subliner. So there's VOD to go over if you're Guerrillas and prepare for this map.
100%. And that it's a great first blood. Nice shots there from Vivid, who is one of the absolute bright spots in Search and Destroy and young talent really last year. Do a kind of a map he can have, but now you got to try and bring it back in a 3 versus 4. Mack gets some damage in, but no kill. aBeZy puts down another. You're in a 2v4 now for Diamond and Mack.
I'm just trying to work the safe side. The problem will be when Cellium and aBeZy kind of take the middle of the map away from them. Salt, though, he's not going to even let them work that bomb plan. He finds his 2nd kill of the round. Mack in a 1 versus 4. Finds 1, but there is the trade. Yeah, starts with that first blood on the Clay. You could tell you don't often see him with this sub, but he was trying to really bring the pressure. I'm sorry, it was Vivid with the first kill, so that was actually Salt's 2nd. But a nice defense out of Guerrillas.
I think we're really going to see how much they did their homework. I mean, obviously, there is an advantage when you can watch this map played yesterday from NYSL, but at the same time, NYSL know that. They can make adjustments. They can get different setups through, but we've talked a lot about preparation for Guerrillas and how important it's going to be. Going to be on full display. Vivid almost gets caught on the same cross. He will end up going down. Mack with the first blood. He just jumps on in. A flurry of kills through. Mack, though. Mack gets 3. What a second half to the hard point he had. And there's all 4. The ace for Big Mack.
That is a quick round as they just fly at this push from Guerrillas. Mack takes down Vivid. His teammate Asim flies on over him. And they all line up for Mack. And he's able to just stay alive up top of this balcony until he tries to come on through for the flank. Beautifully done by Mack. And yeah, the second half of game 1, it has absolutely helped him out.
Yeah, that looked pretty good. And wow, what a play. 5-1 from Mack. The rest of his team currently accounts for 0. So yeah, Mack, strong start. Let's see what he can do behind this 4 spree. But now they shift over to the offensive end. As far as the defense goes for Guerrillas, you've got 2 stacked at B, 1 watching the mid cross and 1 kind of playing out our beach side. Defensively, Vivid had the first blood last time through. We'll see if he can find success again, but the hot hand's got to be Mack.
Yeah, they slow things down on the subliner's side. And all pressure sort of inside a lobby towards B, but not right now. Looks like Clay's trying to find an opening towards the middle of map. Vivid just a bullet away from getting taken down, but he's going to back on up. Salt making sure there is no push towards A. I mean, you really do have a 2-2 split. If they get aggressive towards A right now, this could be a bomb plan. They would have to kind of go through the middle of the map. Vivid, he gets taken down and gets first blood, but a very quick trade. Now all eyes onto Assault, but look at this. You have Asim watching the cross. Nice shot on aBeZy. aBeZy, though, going to hop the wall. He knows Asim is there. Assault, though, gets caught. Mack continues his spree. Going to get the bomb plan as well, and the question will be, can he get one more kill? It might turn into some streaks for Mack.
On the other side of it, an aBeZy come up with a big 1v2 clutch. There's the first, into a 1 versus 1. Mack, hot off the ace, and he's able to hit the shots. Mack, an ace, into a plant, into a 1v1 win as Mack is taking over the game too.
I mean, you have this red if you're aBeZy. He has the stun out. He's just trying to get information, maybe to kind of see where he's coming from or where he's sitting at. The stun hits, but doesn't expect him to challenge it right away. Mackey keeps it up. Can we just check his point of view really quick if we can see if he's able to earn? So he is close. Really, really close from getting that artillery. That would basically shut down the A site on defense.
Well, it's a fast hit from Guerrillas to B. You do have 3 players here for NYSL. Just don't let Mack do Mack things again. Just lying in wait. Can he make the play again? Little shoulder through. Clay with the first blood. Here they come. Mack takes down 1. Mack almost got a second, but the trade was in. So quickly into a 2 versus 2. And it's what Diamond's got to rally over towards B. It looks like he's just going to hold the mid cross. Just make sure there's not a wrap out towards A. You don't want to give Guerrillas a 2-on-1 if you can. Yeah, they'll group up.
Time game now. How does the timing work out? You would think with 30 seconds left, they don't have to commit to B just yet, but if they wait around long enough, they're going to have to. They're going to try and push on through. It's looking that way. Clay, though, he's going to peek it from the balcony. He gets caught. And they get caught checking the bomb in the 2v2.
Oh, the quality team shot in from Guerrillas. Assault POV once again. Snapping from 1 to 2. And App getting some damage in there as well. But a lovely 2v2 finish there from Guerrillas. And Mack did get the artillery.
He was able to find 1. And, you know, maybe on offense, you know, there's obviously a lot of cover for the defensive team, but you can use that ping gate, get the information. On defense is where I really want to see it, because you can overload one site, use the artillery if you can time it the right way and maybe get someone off that bomb. We'll see what happens. Billy, not the best start, 0-4 right now, but he's got the entire team to deal with. Here comes the push on the top balcony. Who is it? It is Mack. He finds the first blood, and he immediately trying to get that bomb down. Diamondcon looking over him, does get taken out, but we'll be into a 3v3 situation. Never mind, Silly gets a second.
Dude, what a great job from Silly. What a play. But Mack continues to go off. Silly is still there. Silly gets 3, all 4 down for NYSL, and there's the defuse. I mean, Mack makes a great play, but Silly, I mean, he was close to getting caught. Don't get me wrong. It was like a double or triple chow from top, but the fact that he stayed alive in that spot took God knows how much damage over that stretch. And at 0-4 walks away with 3 kills. That is just an awesome round there from Silly.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things where if you're Subliners, maybe you're just trying to get Mack out alive in that position because he does have the artillery. Maybe they're thinking, we use this to win it. But you can see here, Asim actually gets aggressive. I would have liked to just maybe see them try to get back. In Clay now, what he's thinking is if maybe I can find a timing to catch Silly or Salt getting aggressive, but Silly is patient the entire time. They have plenty of time to work with on the defuse. A big round from Silly gives them the round advantage.
I don't even want to know how many bullets that dumpster just ate. That thing is shredded. There were so many people putting shots in, but now you've got Assault on 4 in a row. Silly on 3 in a row. Mack accounting for 10 of 13 kills on the other side of it. We're only 5 rounds in. Mack's averaging 2 kills a round, which is just absurd. But it's a 3-2 lead now for Guerrillas. And it looks like pretty passive offense for now as they look for an opening. But look at that number 5 in Asim starting to push his way up the map. He's probably going to catch one. Asim is just chasing him down, trying to catch Vivid. He wasn't able to finish the kill, so great job from Vivid getting away with his life. Assault picks it up, but Assault then picks up Asim's bullets as well as he will fall. We go to a 3 versus 3.
Well, it's just can Asim get out of here now? That's really the question. You could tell that 2 players trying to wrap back. That's silly and apathy. I mean, he's wasting their time, but he's going to end up get taken down. Vivid was able to wrap out towards the B site. So now the question is where do you want to go? I mean, you can see the Asim play. There's only 30 seconds left. He can easily stop this plant. You have Mack in his position top B where he's been all game, and maybe with Diamond not seeing much middle of the map and beach side, it might be a rotate towards that back alley. This could work out really, really well for Diamond and the Subliners. Billy, he's going to say hello, and Mack gets caught.
Nice win from Diamond. 8 seconds to go.
Does he have time to get to the plant? I don't know if he got there, man.
I don't know. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's not going to matter because Diamond hits the shots. And Asim, all that time he wasted, all that time in hotel, by the time they got towards the plant, only 20 seconds to work with, and then Diamond with beams to close out the round.
Great shots onto every single player, able to get the angle on the apathy. I don't even know if it would have mattered. I really don't.
Sure. I'm not
sure. It was
sure.
really, really close, but you're getting huge plays out of Mack. You're getting big plays out of Diamond on that defense. And yeah, Asim, he only gets 1, but like I said, he wasted 60 seconds of the Guerrillas' time.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking it was going to come down to maybe 1 kill on a bomb planter is all that was going to matter. It didn't quite play out like that. It got a little more insane than I thought it was once Mack dropped, but regardless, what a play from Diamond. Just think of the individual moments. The ace from Mack, the 3 from Silly, the 3 there from Diamond to go big. Like, it's the major time, baby. People stepping it up big time.
You're seeing multiple. I mean, it was Clay last round who got caught crossing the A. Vivid almost does it there. They know now this is going to be an A hit. They have all the information. Apathy's working the flank. He come up behind Clayster. Clayster, he's starting to recognize the timing. He knows what could happen. I don't know if he spotted him over there or what, but it looks like Clay has a good idea. Apathy's on that site. Asim, he gets hit with an nade, doesn't really care. Got a trophy on him now. Bomb being planted.
Yeah, he just gets out with his life. There's a 4-on-4 retake now. Guerrillas look to collapse. That's a massive first blood in from Silly. We'll have the numbers here. Clay gets caught mantling. Things falling apart. Asim is still lurking. Well, not lurking much anymore. As he gets tagged from behind, Diamond will fall. Asim the last man up. The trade is in, and Guerrillas, they bounce back from a frustrating round. They get the retake. They get the defuse.
Yeah, there was that sort of like cat and mouse happening between Apathy and Clay. I think they both at some point knew where each other were. But it's Apathy with his patience. You saw where Asim was planting that bomb. Clay, if he's able to work towards the middle of the map, he can help Diamond out big time. Because you see the angles, that Vivid, where he's able to come from. And basically, if Clay's able to get onto that driveway, he can stop that from happening. But Apathy deals with him. It's a huge one-on-one. And then it's, hey, we know where it's planted for. We know where they're going to be. They use their numbers to take him down.
I feel like we just don't get a whole lot of 4-on-4 retake scenarios with the way S&D's been playing out this year. There you saw a great one from Guerrillas. So, you know, Silly started 0-4. He's brought it back. He's 6-5. Clay on the other side of it. He's been so good in search for them statistically, but 1-6 right now. And Asim, who's also been like really awesome for them, is 3-7. It's just it's really been all on Mack and Diamond make plays to win rounds.
Yeah, and I guess, like, it's tough for Asim because he's been with Mack the whole time. They're kind of the duo over here, and the trades maybe just not going his way. And there's going to be times where that just happens. You're the first one in, or maybe Mack's the first one in. But it's fine, right? Mack's got the hot hand. Let him do his thing. It is going to be a B hit, but there is that first blood, and it's on Asim once again. Can Mack and Clay try and hold this play off? You see that wall jump. Clayster's trying to time it to find a pick. He does just that, but Silly gets into a position. Mack not ready for it. 2-on-3. Silly again. From 0-4 to 9-5.
Yeah, no, he is popping off. I mean, it's like the story of NYSL in game 1. Like, start slow, finish strong. That's what Silly is doing here. What a map he is having. Well, Diamond, he had one 1v3 type scenario. This one looks like it's going to be a bit more difficult as bomb has been planted. And he's got to try to work this defuse. And while his position now known, CDL thinking about challenge, but good job just kind of shouldering it. Getting info, and then there come the shots from on top. That's now 3 rounds in a row for Guerrillas, 1 round away from tying us up at 1-1 in the series.
Yeah, it was 2 Tommies on both sides. So when CDL got into that position, Clayster actually hopped the wall and took down Vivid. But they didn't know CDL got there. Play, he tries to get back out with his life. CDL takes down 2. So it's just sort of timings, but the numbers advantage was for Guerrillas. CDL up to 9 kills. Yeah, he found the first blood. Mack, though, you still have the artillery. I don't even know if they've pinged it yet either, so I'm not exactly sure if they know they have it. Well, but now you have to use it.
What'd I say? He had 10 kills through 5 rounds, right? 2 a round. He hasn't got a kill in the last 3 rounds. They've lost all 3. So Mack has been out of the equation, at least from a kill standpoint, over this Guerrillas run. And it's just been all silly. Asim again, going to get dropped. Assault, lovely shots. Right there matching CDL at 9 and 4. Now the artillery. The ping in. Vivid's going to get caught in the cross. That's a tough death when you have the 4v3 advantage. That'll bring us all even. 3 versus 3.
Yeah, I wonder what the thinking is there. Like maybe he was worried he was going to get hit by artillery. I'm not sure, but Vivid maybe trying to help Assault out. Does he get taken down? Assault continues to lurk middle of the map. Play can't look over it. He was worried about the flank, so now it's all down to him. That just comes back to that round where aBeZy, you know, he hits the wide flank on him. So Clay is just worried that there's going to be a timing that works against him. They find the middle of the map. They find the opening, and Guerrillas going to tie it up 1-1.
Guerrillas get it done with 4 straight rounds, and what a bounce back it was from CDL. From 0-4 to making plays all over the map. And honestly, I mean, if you take out Mack's play and Diamond's wild play, I mean, that map too really is a blowout. I mean, Guerrillas outplay them absolutely, and they even us up at 1-1. Just lovely job there, and I think that speaks to the experience factor and kind of what we were talking about. You know, the inexperience on NYSL and the experience on the side of Guerrillas. You know, if you're a younger player, a little bit newer to the pro league, and this is your first major, and you're down 0-1 in the series, you start out 0-4 in a search and destroy. Maybe it's in your head a little bit. I know it's different when they're playing from home, but it's not going to face someone like CDL, aBeZy, Assault. It's just not. It's not. You saw it there from CDL.
Yeah, and this was a big map, right? This is where they've been their bread and butter. Their best game mode has been Envoy. They lost it yesterday against Atlanta FaZe, but this time they get it at 1 apiece. And you know, Guerrillas is a team where they want to extend the series. They want this to go to that game 5, put the pressure on the opposite team. Oh, they did the hard part, but now we get to the control, and this is where it gets in.
Absolutely. We're going to take a look at a U.S. Army tactical play. It's actually going to be CDL. I believe it's going to be the round where him and that dumpster were best friends, and just excellent job staying alive, finding the kills. You see, it's a fake a double chow from top. He takes some damage. Mack soars on through, but it's CDL that stands tall in the end, Joe.
Yeah, and I don't. It's tough for the Subliners because I think Mack, as soon as he gets to this position to plant the bomb, it's almost like he's a sacrificial lamb in the way. The play is for him to plant. I just think Diamond peeking, Clay peeking here. It was just everyone else almost overstayed their welcome on the NYSL side.
Yeah, usually it's a tale of kind of both sides, right? When there's a misplay, it's somebody going huge like CDL. It's partly an overextension maybe on the other side or a misplay. I mean, a lot of the times that's just how it is. It's a tale of both teams, good and bad, who's able to go big. But here it was CDL. Excellent job there in the game 2 from 0-4 to 9 kills. He went 9-1 over that stretch where they just went round after round to close it out. But looks like we got a series with a chance to go the distance. Tied up at 1-1. It's been a blast thus far. Plenty of action to come. We'll be right back.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Celebrate the major by purchasing a case of GameFuel to earn a free CDL team pack. Visit gamefuel.com/CDL for more info. Tournament audio and team listenings are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
Coming into the 2021 season with a statement. That's a 3-0 over the LA Thieves.
Tied up at 1-1, heading into a control, and here's a graphic kind of talking about the streakiness of NYSL. And yeah, I know it can be matchup based, and there's a lot that goes to this, but it's just kind of wild how they seem to just lose or win in flurries like this, Joe.
Yeah, and they just had another one snapped. They had a 4-game win streak snapped right there. So, yeah, I mean, lose 3, win 8, lost 4, win 3, and you know, it's obviously you learn a lot from those losses. You know, we've talked about sort of the younger players learning from Clay, and I think that's a big part of it. I'm sure matchups go into that. But yeah, it's just sort of, can they maybe find a better balance? But in this one, it's tied 1-1. We're going to Garrison control. And for the Guerrillas, you're 0-3. You're trying to find some success. Yesterday, it was really losing that first defensive round against Atlanta FaZe that hurt them, put them into a hole.
This is what we were talking about with our keys to victory. Like, I know it's easier said than done. You have to find a way to win a control map. It's not raid. You've got to. This is the time to do it. You're going to make a run into the top 4. What a massive and monumental this win would be within the series. And the guy that applies all the pressure, the maniac on the map, it's Vivid. They got to let him loose here.
You know, on the other side, I mean, the Subliners haven't played this map in an official match. I mean, they're 0-0. They've played so much raid, right? What did we say, like 6 times or something, 5 times? Like, yeah, it's been one of their go-tos. They've had some really close losses on it, but you know, you're scrimming it, you're practicing it. But they know going into this one, they're like, let's just not give them the only map they've won a control on.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure that was a hard decision for the coaching staff and the players. Like you like 5 out of 6 of their controls have been raid. Yeah, they played it a ton. But this is how they opt to do it in the Banditos, and they get 4 down nearly instantly, and they get right onto the A point. Okay, they get this next wave of kills. 3 kills for Guerrillas, should get them back onto the point. The last man standing there is Clay. He's just stopping the clock, staying up as long as he possibly can. Finally, it'll be aBeZy that takes his head clean off. And now where does the line of attack go for NYSL? It's over to B, and Vivid is lying in wait.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least for NYSL, you relieve map pressure, just having Clay just, you know, buy some time. That's what happens. You don't put Guerrillas in those power positions right off of spawn because he was still alive. They had to deal with him. You have 2 players, top green. They're just going to go right back towards that A zone. And this is what we saw from Atlanta FaZe. They did a really good job managing the clock on offense, just sort of having someone on it to pause the clock and slaying around it in this first offense. And maybe they took those notes. They're taking that strategy. That's going to be 2 ticks at the tougher zone. And Guerrillas, they know they kind of have to go. And all the kills going NYSL's way. They get A, now they have someone on B.
Well, there's the A point done. Now, Vivid does get 2 kills to make the transition across maybe a little bit more difficult as he tries to finesse mid-map, but more difficult all the points done. Vivid, though, keeps on cruising. Vivid, here he goes. 4 in a row now for him at 6-3, and if they're going to hold on for a minute 40, not just him, but the entire squad is going to have a massive defensive front. And you still have 2 people applying pressure. Well, make it 1 is silly. The point man will drop. aBeZy will be the next one up to try and hold the cross. The crossfire is in with Assault. And really, they just have to, yeah, avoid that 3 or 4 down. Well, that's 2 down. Things could start to get a little bit scary here.
And the Subliners kind of slow things down a little bit. You see Clay's trying to work around that vent room right now. I'm going to see maybe working towards B. You do have aBeZy who's lurking. You want to hear, you know, maybe we're looking for aBeZy. Clay picked it up. Clay able to take down 2. Clay looking for the 3rd. That's going to be the last player alive for Guerrillas. That's Assault 10 versus 7 in the lives department. First tick is in. Peek, he's going to be weak. Assault, his ability to stay alive, though, that was huge from him.
I thought right there maybe he had the lives advantage. Time was on your side. Everything looking good. But now it's a 7v7 scenario from a live standpoint. You rebound if you're Guerrillas. Now, can you hold? 45 seconds to go. Or will it just come down to the lives? A big one for Silly. Every kill so crucial here. Asim to get traded out as well. Really just kills for either team. 5 versus 5 now. We're just about to be out of respawns. Only one more through. Mack with a kill. A trade is in. Now it's going to be a 4 versus 3. 4 versus 2. Just Assault and aBeZy left alive to somehow stop this. We saw 2v7 happen yesterday. Anything is possible from this spot, but it's NYSL on the point. aBeZy's going to drop. All on Assault 1 versus 4, and he will fall. NYSL close out the round 1.
And we saw a 2v7 yesterday, but the clock helps them out, right? I mean, obviously, yeah. There was like there was like 2 seconds left. There was 30 seconds left. Even if all 4 of them died right there, I think they still would have had time to get to B. But yeah, it's just the start of the round and their ability to just put a lot of pressure on A. They found a majority of the kills, and getting done with that A zone helps them. Gets a little bit closer. Guerrillas, they do a good job holding map control for some time, but still a minute 40 on the clock. NYSL, they're able to break through, and I think it was Clay 2 times towards the vent room side. Found 2 big kills and opened up that B zone.
Well, Clay, step it up big time. Leading the troops here to try and close out this game 3. Take a 2-1 edge and break into the top 4 if they can win the series. We heard the comms from the Guerrillas in the map 1. I want to hear them now from NYSL. Let's go to an Astro listen in.
I hopped on him.
Here.
Nice.
I'm reinforcing green. I'm reinforcing green.
They're nading me, Jen. I'm getting away. They're pushing me out. He's pushing me out.
Flat, one shot.
One shot in Jen.
Flat, one shot, 2 flat, 2 flat, 1 dead. One shot, one flat.
Work these kills together.
2 flat.
Let's Mack.
Okay.
Jump up BS Indy, okay?
Oh, rails and casters. 2 casters. One more caster.
I'm hit up green.
Come green. Don't force
Jen's weak, man. One hit up green.
Yeah, I'm
Jen's weak and 1 flat. Jen's weak and 1 flat. Yeah, alright, care here, guys. We need kills, Mack.
Why just set up flat?
Play BS Indy, Mack. I'll play elbow. I got 2 trophy Ds.
Anything that stood out to you, Joe?
I mean, you could hear sort of the intensity, right? Just every kind of 2 kills. I think it was Asim that was getting pumped up. They were just trying to bring it. But Guerrillas are going to break that setup. Looks like they're going to have B control. So NYSL are saying, all right, you get B. Now, can you get through towards A? And they're all going top green side. Just trying to get map control. Maybe trying to deal with the Guerrillas push as they get done with that B zone. But it does not go their way. You still have Asim alive. Rest of Guerrillas, though, they go to the spawn. Asim, though, able to help his teammates out. Kind of reflanks that flank through the middle.
It's tough for Guerrillas. You're thinking, we got the map position. Let's catch them off spawn. But then every kill comes through for NYSL. So what could have been a tough trap to deal with, they deal with beautifully. They get out of it. They get back into position. Now aBeZy trying to make plays top green. Only able to take 1 down. Everybody now down and coming off a spawn for Guerrillas. That allows NYSL to now push up the map. And you can see the focus towards Brickside. That number 5. It's Asim getting aggressive. And he's got what? I think Mack to work with. So you've got that duo set up bottom side of the map.
Yeah, they're just trying to control towards that dark area just because they know they have to cross towards top green. They can watch that cross and that hop up to help out Clay. Looking at lives, though. Still have a 1 life advantage if you are Guerrillas. Vivid was able to get in a brace, but the big thing is the clock. 25 seconds. Vivid trying to find an opening for his teammates to get to him. And he stay alive, because every death after that is going to be a bit of a staggered push for them. But it looks like he does a good enough job. Here it comes. Mack and Diamond find 2 kills. aBeZy trying to stay alive, and that should do it.
All 4 drop. NYSL, the defense simply too strong. You have 5 seconds to scramble towards the point. If you're Guerrillas, cannot get there. You see the arrows aren't even moving at this point. NYSL take a commanding 2-0 edge here in the control. And, well, the woes for Guerrillas outside of raid control continue.
Yeah, and I think if you just look at what what really sticks out to me from yesterday and today, between the two defensive rounds, was they've given up a lot of pressure towards A. And what did we see NYSL do? They overstack A a little bit. We saw it yesterday at Atlanta FaZe. They don't mind if you get B. That's typically not the case for Guerrillas. Like, they're just like, I don't know. It feels like they're losing 2 ticks or the entire point of A, and then they have to try to fight back through mid and get B control. Listen, if things aren't going your way, force them to fight that A zone. It is not easy to do.
Let's see if there's any change to the defense, but everybody falls early outside of really silly. Still near that A zone. Asim gets spotted as he pushes through the flank, so Silly is able to pick that up. This time the focus offensively will be B early from Subliners. About to enter the second bit of progress. aBeZy doing his best to disrupt that, and he's able to do it for now. Trophy out. And just trying to play his life as the help comes on through. The help is in the form of Assault. As he takes out Diamond, and just look at the minimap. You've got all the position in the world right now if you're Guerrillas. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, but where does that start, right? It was Silly, you know, who found that kill top green, and then they kind of retook B from Catwalk and in top A side. They make sure that there's no pressure at A. Silly is continue to play around here. Have that life advantage, and again, if they get B, it's not the end of the world. And get these kills off the zone, maybe off the zone capture. Now they're just gonna back on up, and this is just what we haven't seen. Force NYSL to have to try to push through bricks and get that 3 or 4 down.
Let's see if NYSL can get that 3 or 4 down, or if Guerrillas can hold. You got to hold for 90 seconds. Pivot, little peekaboo, takes down 1, play, trade, and tries to snap, but not able to get a multi-kill. Asim now, good position from him, 23 and 15, a fantastic map out of him thus far. And they've gotten onto the point. There's a pinch man towards mid-map and Assault. They can try and collapse. First bit of progress is through, and it's moving quickly. Almost near the second already. NYSL are going to close it out here. That's a triple from Mack. An individual moment of brilliance yet again, and it's a hot 3-0 in control as NYSL dominated as Mack goes huge in the final moment.
Yeah, it's just the defensive woes for the Guerrilla side. Not able to put it together on one of the maps that is defensive sided. So, I mean, raid control, it's good for Guerrillas, but you get that taken away with the veto process. You have to make the adjustments elsewhere. They just have not been able to do that so far.
And it makes it so hard on yourself when, I know the most important modes are what? Your hardpoint, your search, because you play them both twice, but when you're not, it's just the fact that they haven't won it once outside of raid. Like, when it's a stat like that, it's just, it becomes so difficult to win series. And then what, Joe, I know we were sent some stats we were looking over this morning that really kind of touched more on the game 4 and 5 as we got deeper. What were some of the things that really stuck out?
Well, I think the big thing that stuck out for Guerrillas was their map 5 was great, but I don't think their map 4 was. I'll try to find the stat. They are 0-4, or team number 2-0 in game 5, but map 4 is not their strong spot at all.
Well, that doesn't bode well, considering they're down 1-2 currently in the series, and they'd require that map 4 win if they're going to take it to a 5th and final map. So if you're Guerrillas, if you can get to the map 5, you feel all right, but you got to get there. You got to go huge. The boys have got to step up massively here to extend the series, but it's all NYSL in the control. Mack, Asim, Clay, Diamond popping off on the main stage. We'll be right back after this break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Do you like free scuffs? Free scuffs! You've got a chance to win one. The controller, you get to pick the design and model. The giveaway will start Friday, March 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern and end on Sunday, March 7th at the end of the broadcast. Now, if you want a chance to do it, head over to Scuff Gaming, their Twitter. It's going to be the pinned tweet. Yeah, well, saying stuff and scuff was very difficult for me there, Joe. That was hard.
I mean, it rhymes. Either work, either really work. But
not
yeah,
when you blend them both together.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Scuff wants you to say Scuff, absolutely. And I mean, just look at how beautiful that these controllers can be. They truly are. I love them.
Yeah, love them. We love them. But a reminder on how the maps and modes have gone thus far. The game one, if you missed it, come from behind victory for NYSL. Guerrillas, for the most part, dominate the game two. NYSL answer back and dominate the game three. We're now going to a game 4 hard point where Guerrillas are 0-4 in game 4 hard points. This is a look at the stats for NYSL and Joe, how they fared individually.
Yeah, and it was just really a second half sort of surge out of players like Mack and Clay. Diamond was crowded. Asim put up, 2 minutes in the hill. My man was doing all the dirty work. But looking at raid hardpoint, this is one Guerrillas. They are the last team in the league to play a raid hardpoint. They are 0-0 on this map here. They have not played it yet. See how they fare against a team, New York, who is 1-1, and again, a very just scrappy respawn team.
Yeah, it's odd that we talk about the fact that teams are targeting raid for Guerrillas when it comes to S&D and control. Like, they're getting it out of the mix because that's where Guerrillas are solid, but then they haven't played it in hardpoint. So we'll see. I mean, they found success on raid in general. I know it obviously varies drastically mode to mode, but they need to find some success. They need to find it quickly. Maybe it bodes well for them that we mentioned that 0-4 thing for game 4. Well, at least for them, it hasn't been a loss on raid.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a bright spot in there.
Yeah. A reminder, this is for top 4. Prize pool for the major, $500,000. And Mack continues to have a hot hand as he takes down 2, but Guerrillas, they clean up everything else as Silly answers in a big way. They'll get right into ring. Try to get set up to pick up this time. Focus on the spawns for Kitchen as well as aBeZy lurks towards mid-courtyard. And that's just quality shots there out of Assault.
And nice shots with that Krig. And I think if you look at that starting push for the Guerrillas, yes, Silly gets 2, but it's Vivid. He starts off by taking a long route. He actually goes water stairs, and I don't know if NYSL, they just kind of didn't expect him to hit pillars that late because it was a pretty late hit, I think, compared to normal, but he was able to take one down. Now this rotation over to Kitchen, like you said, controlled right now by Guerrillas. Vivid doing a fantastic job trying to cut off their rotation. You do have Clay and Mack inside of the Kitchen, though. And if they find these kills, NYSL might get the back spawns. Ooh, it's going to be Silly with that timing, who's just able to get it. Just the way it works out. Guerrillas, it pays off, but can they get hill control? Assault able to find 3. They all line up.
Yeah, NYSL just got assaulted. 3 line up. He puts them all down. Clay trying to answer back. The only person that wasn't a victim of that triple, but they get in. And it's a great job from NYSL to, chew away at some time from the front. It doesn't last that long, but then right back in they go. Just a flurry of kills back and forth as no one can get comfortable inside a Kitchen. And as the final 20 seconds are there, the focus is now going to be on the rotation across. Spawning at old will be aBeZy. Spawning at old will be Silly. It's going to be on Vivid and Assault to now deal with the enforcements coming in.
And both teams just trying to spawn each other out at old so they can get set up here. It will be Vivid and aBeZy trying to hold on. Diamondcon doesn't expect that setup. The Mack's got to slow it down a little bit, but you see, number 2, number 3, Assault and Silly, they are all the way out. Clayster's going to pick one up. He's able to take him down. He's on 5 in a row, maybe working on some streaks. Mack to the front door. His hipfire wasn't hitting. His melee wasn't hitting, but he's got the help of Asim. They have control.
Here come Guerrillas. Looking for the opening break. Mack, though, fantastic stuff to hold down one side of it. hits a player weak as well, at least staggers it for a second. aBeZy just wants to contest, or so I thought. He goes ahead and challenges to the edge and maybe give some freedom here to Vivid to make an individual play, and Vivid will get through. So there's about 20 seconds left on there. They get in. They'll get some time, but we now head all the way over to basketball court, and I don't know. It kind of works out okay for NYSL. You can get set up for next.
Yeah, I think they split both of those hills, and I think you're happy with it. Basketball, based on what we've watched, is probably the money hill. I think on Raid, I think we all consider like kind of the kitchen, garage, and basketball. If you watch like Black Ops 2 to be hills where you can get a lot of time, but teams have gotten much better at breaking kitchen and garage, just dealing with the spawns and spawning teams out. But basketball's been the tough one to break.
We'll see if Guerrillas can somehow get that break. So far, though, the hold good enough for NYSL. Diamond, who's been their consistent factor in hardpoint, little bit slow of a start at 5 and 11, but we'll see if he can pick things up. Mack, though, once he got going in that game 1, he has not slowed down at all. 11 and 7 now. 2, though, line up for Vivid, and there might be the entry. They'll break through. 3 will drop, and they'll get in for the final bit of scrap time. But there was a lead change there for a moment as NYSL went back out in front. We'll now get ready for our final hard point in the first rotation. Eyes all on the middle of the map at Courtyard.
Yeah, it's almost like the break's coming in, but it's coming in with like 20 seconds left. So I think NYSL's like, all right, you can kind of have that time. We'll just get set up at Courtyard. So they're going to get set up here. You do have rune control if you are Guerrillas. It's Assault and Silly with the ARs, so they're going to have the advantages win the fights towards water stairs, but it's Diamondcon and Mack locking it down. Silly's going to be the last one left. There is going to be a challenge, but he's got some help. Clay watching over him.
If you are NYSL, I cannot stress how desperately they want to close it out here on a map 4. If the inexperience might hurt you anywhere, it's probably in a 5th and final map at a major with a slow mode like S&D where there's time to think, time to feel the pressure. You just want to close it out here. Let's go to an Astro Listening with NYSL.
Kitchen side hill, kitchen side hill.
Nice. I got time.
I'm gonna go out of raid. I'm gonna go out of raid.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Careful.
They could pitch around, yeah. I'm trying to get two ult. I'm Zig right now.
Okay. I'm gonna play rotation. You can hold this bench. I need to
let him go weak. I hit him with 2. Stay alive. Huge hill. Huge fucking hill.
I'll play pinch. I'll play pinch.
Yeah, play pinch.
Laundry steps, one shot.
I'm on pinch. I'm
gonna cross the outer.
Laundry stairs.
I'm one shot.
Laundry dead. One outer. Laundry one
shot.
shot.
Laundry steps in. One top laundry. He's holding it. He's holding top laundry.
I'm staying down.
I need it back in.
Outer.
I have laundry steps. Push.
I
I'm going top ring.
If they run down laundry steps, they're dead. I have all the push.
Watch my top laundry then.
I'm looking top.
Somebody behind us.
One pinch. He went top part. One top part.
Yeah, top part. On white van.
We gotta be aware of that, guys. We spawned him behind us right there.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit your left. I'm mid right now.
I'm gonna go through B-ball or just
you go money. I'll go B-ball.
Okay. I'm front kitchen right now.
No, he's in kitchen.
I'm money.
B-ball dead.
Still in kitchen. I'm spawning back laundry. They're spawning back laundry.
I'm blocking it now.
I don't know where they're spawning.
I'm gonna go in the tree. I'm holding the back. Someone get my water.
They come water on me?
Yeah, someone water. I full flash. I can't see anything in the back.
I'm watching back with you.
Alright. You already jumped. You cross.
You back that. I got the street. I'm running away.
I can run 3 back.
I'm out front.
Yeah, we use it.
I'm coming with you guys. Give me a sec.
They're weak. Super weak.
They're going hard in the comms, and Mack trying to make the plays inside a kitchen, but Joe, there were some sequences there where, yeah, it felt like they didn't pick up the spawn out. There was a bit of a flip and a split spawn, and they did their best to deal with it.
Yeah, I think Mack's position right when we were at that ring hill is Mack 23 and 13. His shot is on point right now, but yeah, he didn't realize being in that position would spawn them behind them garage, so you kind of had this weird situation, and then they were back kitchen, and I think aBeZy spawned laundry, so they weren't ready for that to happen. But when all is said and done, you basically have a tied game, and yeah, just maybe not understanding the spawn system to a T quite yet. If they were able to pick on that up, who knows what the score is, but you have to be happy if you're Guerrillas.
It's a small lead now for Subliners. They're inside a garage. Number 5 and Asim is playing from top. He's got a chance to make the play. He does. Off screen, Asim goes huge. He's able to take down 2, and that top push gets shut down completely. And This is probably the most comfort and most we've seen a team be able to push out a garage in quite some time. Like, it feels like you're always battling from inside of the hard point. I haven't seen this in a while with me casting this.
Yeah, exactly. It's that first set of kills. Typically, it's pretty much trades on both ends, but Asim, he was controlling apartment. Clayster, he was controlling top art. And then you can see how far you will spawn out if you don't have any pressure towards the garage side of the map. And yeah, I think you're right. The raids we've casted, that's probably the best garage hill that you and I have watched.
100%, 100%. You're going to be just about 20 points away from victory now if you're NYSL. A spot into the top 4. A chance to carry on this run at the first major. With the basketball court we go. And you mentioned Money Hill, one of the tougher ones to break. Guerrillas can bring it right back. Vivid Assault winning key gunfights. It'll be what apartment side spawns for NYSL is they got to think about how they want to pinch and attack this. But if you get all the time, I mean, God, we're almost identical scores again.
Look at this team, though. He's taking the long route. He went all the way through water stairs to pillars. He's going to be the one to set up the pinch right now. He takes some shots at Assault. Assault, he's going to get taken down, but on the hill, it was aBeZy who found 2 kills. So they're able to hold the hill. Now you have 20 seconds left. What do you want to do if you are the Subliners? They are going to rotate. We are going to have a lead change. It feels like it always comes down to this courtyard hill. So many iconic moments on raid. Hardpoint, we might have another one here.
Let's check the scoreline as we get ready to go. 227, 229. Edged NYSL and they're inside a courtyard. The break needs to be here for Guerrillas. You've got the map position right now if you're NYSL. Just 10 more points needed. Nice win from Silly, but the rest of his teammates are going to drop. No one in the hard point, though, for now. And Silly's got the cross. He gets smoked by Mack. Vivid feels like he's got to go. They've got to get in. They're trying to soar on forward, but Clay is there, and NYSL close it out. With the 3-1 win, they move on. They get top 4. And look at the hype.
Look at the hype from Clay. He's getting all pumped up for his teammates. Mack, the best play on raid hardpoint. This was him inside a kitchen. He's dealing with the Guerrillas pressure. I mean, maybe the best series we've seen out of Mack. They talk about how he turned around that checkmate hardpoint. Had a great game too, despite them losing. But they win all of the respawns, and they are top 4. With all of the roster decisions that they had to make, Clay being the only true veteran on this team, and they make it work with a deep run.
It is unbelievable. And you heard the interview yesterday, and I was surprised with how blunt Clay was, where he just said, man, I don't remember the exact wording, but it's been mentally taxing. It's been kind of exhausting, being like the lone vet, and he feels at times like the one guy that really has a sense of how they need to play and being that lone leader. And he was really blunt with it. Just, it's tiring. And he said yesterday, he's like, if we get top 4, I see it as a success. Well, Clay, you did it. They move on through, but on the other side of that series, you saw the frustration. It's a tough and a close loss there for Guerrillas, who hadn't found success in a map 4 up to that point. That stretch continues, but Joe, you said it. Mack, just a monster series out of him, 29 and 17, but look at that damage out of Clay, 5,500.
Yeah, and this is, I think if you're an NYSL fan, you're happy to see Mack play this way because, I think he's just been in a position where, Clay, Diamond, and Asim, all 3 of those guys have found a ton of success, and he's just sort of been filling in the gaps and doing what he has to do. He's being the dirty work player, but he turned things around for them in that map 1. He made some incredible plays in that map 4. And again, they are going to be playing later on today in our 3rd match. So they're going to be playing the winner of LA Thieves and OpTic Gaming. So a chance for them to get top 3 if they can keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. We still have a lot of matches to come, but I do want to take a look at the scuff play of the game. It's going to be the wild finish. It was a close one. It was a crazy one, a game of momentum and swings. But Joe, talk me through the final moments.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of at this position right now. As soon as 3 go down, Asim, he was working that long route, and they kind of decide, you know what, screw it. Look at all the white arrows. I think they were thinking about it for a second to hit the back stairs, but they get a call. They get ring control. I think the key for NYSL on this last setup is they get 2 or 3 kills before there's really even a Guerrillas push. I think Clay finds one, and I think it's taken down by Silly top laundry. But look at the map pressure right now. It's just non-existent for the LA Guerrillas. And when that's not there, that kind of creates staggered pushes. Right now, 15 seconds for NYSL to win, and they have to go in maybe a challenge one by one. The time, the pressure, it gets to you, but it's the holds by NYSL. I mean, Silly here with a chance. He nice shots on a diamond. There's no one else in the hill, but Mack flies on through. They hold on.
Yeah, it reminds me of, I mean, it's a great call there to back up. What were we casting? I think it was Thieves where, remember kind of Temp, and I think somebody else took kind of like one more crack at basketball, and they didn't back up and just set up the lockdown courtyard. And they didn't get the setup they wanted. They didn't get control. They got broken quickly. There, NYSL make the call. They back up. They get set up. And yeah, those transition kills are so important, as you pointed out, and they close it out, winning all the respawns. It's a top 4 now for NYSL, and now, yeah, can they beat an OpTic? Can they beat a Thieves? Can they get to one of those hot streaks that we've seen them do several times throughout the course of the year? But we got a big matchup coming up next too, buddy.
Yeah, we do. And I will just say one thing, you know, for Guerrillas, like, I thought you played both of those hard points pretty darn well. They just couldn't close it out in those, like, meaningful moments. A couple of breaks and a checkmate even there on that raid. They had the opportunities to win that game, but as you said, a lot of people are going to be looking forward to OpTic taking on the Los Angeles Thieves in a grudge match. And I mean, what, you look at that kickoff classic, it was the 3-0 for OpTic, but we know LA Thieves haven't.
Yeah, I heard Nate Shot and Hector were going to be mud wrestling before this one to get people hyped up and ready to watch it. But a breakdown of how the pricing structure is going to work. $500,000 on the line, 200 grand for first. And, well, if you're NYSL, you just guaranteed yourself a minimum of $40,000 with the victory there. And you can just see the jump when you go from first to third to second to first, how much bigger that prize pool gets. Just how deep of a run can they make? Because, you know, you beat a Guerrillas team who I think has started to find a better form than they did most of the year. But from this point on, it's the big dogs. It's the contenders. It's the one you expected to be chasing a championship coming in.
Yeah, I think this lane will have to be there. I think watching NYSL in that winners round 1 versus OpTic, I mean, it was less. It was some insane number just between Formal and Dashy. They really took over that series. So if NYSL watching these games, but the guns have to be hot. This is where the talent can lean one way. It's just, can guys like Clay really heat up? You saw Diamond, you saw Matt playing well, but the Asim and Clay we saw maybe earlier at times this year, all 4 of them need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to take, they're just going to be playing at their best. There's no way around it. Can they get by at times with an off series or, you know, making poor decisions and still beat some teams? Certainly, but I don't know if that's going to be the case with the remaining teams here. NYSL have got to be on point from a slaying standpoint, rotation standpoint, comp standpoint. Everything has got to be on. And, you know, there is some experienced players, but series by series, they become more and more experienced. They're learning, they're improving. NYSL continue on, but that's going to do it at least for our first match on the day. Coming up after this break, we've got Clayster to chat with. Jess will be sitting down with him to talk through the big win into the top 4. Thoughts from Clay coming up.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by USAA Insurance, auto, renters and home insurance that's made to help the military community protect what they've worked hard for.
Welcome to your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Here with me I have Clayster, the man himself, from the New York Subliners. Clay, there's been some ups, there's been some downs for you. I mean, we've heard you speaking pretty candidly in recent interviews about how you're the veteran here and kind of a lot of stuff is falling to you. But after a victory like that versus the Guerrillas, how are you feeling now today?
You know, I'm feeling great. I think people misconstrued what I was saying yesterday a little bit. I was more so saying that, like, the amount of practice that we've had with this team and where we're at now is unbelievable. I mean, we're top 4 here at the Major. We've only had a month and a half of practice, basically, when all these other teams have had like 4 or 5 months of practice. And really, you know, all of the people on our team are stepping up when they need to. I've been nothing but impressed with the guys and how well they've been performing in this tournament and in practice. And I was mainly just kind of pointing out, like, hey, we're going to need a couple more reps to get up to speed to where we're going to be able to, you know, be dominating every single match that we play. And, you know, here we are, top 4, going to be playing 100 Thieves or OpTic and for a top 3 spot to make it to Sunday. And, you know, honestly couldn't be happier. I'm so proud of the boys. Shout out Con, shout out Asim, shout out Mack.
I'm so glad to hear that, and thank you for that clarification. Well, you know, you brought it up. You are going to be facing either OpTic or the Thieves later on today, and things did not go so well for you each time you faced, last time rather, you faced each of these teams. So where's your head at here today? Do you have any, you know, preferences on who you would want to face?
Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me who we play. Obviously, you know, if we played OpTic, it'd be like a grudge match, and everyone loves their storylines. And the same thing with 100 Thieves. You know, if 100 Thieves ends up beating OpTic, 100 Thieves 3-0'd us last time we played them. So I'm really just wanting to perform well. I think all of us on the team, if we just keep playing like a team, keep improving every single map that we play in a tournament setting, we're just improving and improving and improving. And really, it doesn't matter who we play. As long as we're playing our game and not their game, I don't mind anything.
Strong words. You love to hear it. Love the confidence. Well, Clayster, thank you so much. One final question. Can I get a fist bump?
Oh, of course, Jess. Always fist bumps. Let's go, Jess. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Clayster. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. Well, best of luck going forward. We'll let you go for now. Everyone else watching at home, thank you so much. And you know what? We've got a banger of a match coming up. We've got OpTic versus the Thieves. So stay tuned. You do not want to miss this.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Celebrate the major by purchasing a case of Game Fuel to earn a free CDL team pack. Visit gamefuel.com/CDL for more info. Tournament audio and team listenings are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day 4 of the major here in the Call of Duty League, and strap yourselves in, kids. This one is gonna be good. Chicago taking on the LA Thieves. We've waited all day for it. I got goosebumps all the way down my legs. What do you know? I'm wearing shorts today, boys and girls. Let's get into this one, because today requires nothing but the utmost aerodynamicism. We've got a big game ahead of us. Chance, aerodynamics, I'm not even sure if that was the word. Chance, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Ready to carpe the DM sort of thing. Gonna be a great match and excited for it. I didn't put my shorts on, so maybe I might have to change after map 1, but I'm just ready to get this ball like rolling. You could make a feature-length film documentary to like get all the storylines between these two teams. We don't have that kind of time. I just want to get into the action.
Indeed, we are going to keep things short, so we're going to roll straight on in this one. Let's meet our teams, the LA Thieves. Mighty keeps it going.
Normal, looking fantastic.
Envoy slaying his way through. Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score up.
I'm gonna make it back. I'm gonna make it back, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic Gaming are back. Chicago are a force to be reckoned with. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, I got that confused. I thought it was Slash as OpTic. It's not. It's the real OpTic. It's OpTic Chicago, baby. It's formal Dashy, Envoy, and Scump. And boy, are they ready to bring the thunder today, Chance.
I'm ready to bring the thunder and get at least that top 4 guarantee under their belts. Anything less for this team than a victory, I would say, is a disappointment for these guys. They have been incredible, but obviously they find themselves in losers bracket. They got a lot of good teams they're gonna have to get past, or they can look for that trophy towards the end.
Yeah, it's going to be a grueling series ahead of them. Tough opponent without a shadow of a doubt. Now it's time to meet their opponents. It is now actually the LA Thieves.
I'm with my gang, with my squad, what the fuck you want? So I got people just tuning in, I love the show. Sometimes I get so high, I never land. Ain't no need to overthink it, I already understand. They be plotting on my downfall and need another plan. But we welcome all that hating, I'm like, they can come again. Made a stack off the game and gave 100 to my man. I don't owe no money to him, I just did it cause I can, yeah.
Los Angeles Thieves. Chance, yesterday's series against Toronto Ultra was a nail-biter. It was incredible performances out of Slasher and Temp in those final few moments. But TJ and Kenny, this is a roster that, you know, they've got a lot of potential, man. There is a very, very good chance this series goes the distance.
Absolutely. And this team, though, has been all about momentum. Their past 3 series, they have either been 3-0'd or they have gotten a 3-0. So map 1 for these guys, incredibly important to get that ball rolling, because, well, if you give momentum to the flip side for OpTic, you know that those guys are going to take full advantage. So these guys need that hot start. And I will say, Miles, interesting map selection that we have throughout this series for Crossroads. Thieves have only played it once that we have seen. OpTic have not played it at all, at least not at events, at tournament time throughout the regular season. So we don't really know what to expect. This is purely based on, well, their scrims, how comfortable they're going to be with it. So late transitions through the pick and bans. See how this favors one team or the other.
My eyes could not get away from seeing Moscow search for Game 5. Man, is that going to be the showdown between these two rosters when we get to the end? I hope we get to the end. I'm talking about it like it's definitely going to happen, but you know, I've been praying to the COD gods today, baby. We are in for an absolute delight. Here we go. A4 of the major. Big old series ahead of us. Los Angeles Thieves, OpTic. Chance, I don't even want to know predictions. I just want the game to speak for itself, but this truly will be one we remember for a long time. Let's get it.
And to kick it off on Crossroads, man, we are just delving straight into the chaos. This is a map where it is purely about the engagements. It is the closest we have to hardpoint from last year, where it is gunfight after gunfight. The opening break obviously is going to matter. TJ looking for some trades, but you can already see some of the ideas from the Thieves coming through. You got Kenny on the bottom side of your mini-map. If there's an opening, he's going to look for that flank, and you see starting to make that move.
Yeah, pacey start for both teams, rather. Forward Kenny now, nice pinch there. TJ helps him out on the hard point. We got locked down the first. The Dashy wins a big one at the back side there. It's going to keep these players safe, but Spawn's looking a little bit squirrely there. We saw Formal spawn on the left-hand side of the map. Now you're seeing Kenny spawn there as well. Looks like we've got OpTic back in control now on that right-hand side. That's really what you want. These kills from TJ are all good. Keep the hard point time ticking there for Thieves. OpTic still going to be making their way into the hard point. Now we go. TJ finds kill number 2 in a row before going down there. And with that, we do see Thieves take that right-hand side of the map. Spawn's now in their favor. Envoy, though, he and Scump going to try to change things now with a push.
Yeah, there's having spawns and there's having control. And right now, Thieves only have the first, not the second. Envoy by himself, though, around the hill. His teammates have lost the control. And actually, they end up getting those back spawns. So Thieves, maybe they got the control instead of the spawns that they want. Formal able to take one player down with the nade on the sandbags, but now they're just kind of confused. They need to take a second looking for these gunfights. And frankly, honestly, not a bad start for the Thieves just to get inside.
Yeah, good job. But still, you got Formal posted up by the back, dealing the damage at range there with the XM4. Now he's going to make his way forward. Eyes on the comms. Good bit of work there. The wallbang comes through. Dashy's got him backed up. TJ poked out a little too much, but the gunfight does get won. 30 seconds-ish remaining on this hard point now. We've still got Thieves with a slight lead for the time being. Envoy, the lone member now of OpTic, here alive on the point. And you know what? A little pirouette, a 360. He's going to find the kills. And a little bit of hard point time here to take with him. Not a bad bit of a grab. We will see Thieves get the next 15. Solid bit of work here as we rotate over towards the left-hand side of the map now to our third hard point over by the flaming truck. Temp, he's going to try to make these entry kills.
Not able to get the first. The trades are through, but this is where the real battle begins. Again, we talk about the P3 and P4 spawns all the time. Well, right now, OpTic in a good spot to try to rack up this time. You see the idea, though. You got Temp and a teammate. They're trying to jump up and fry from the hop up towards barrels. Cliffside control, and you see they're blocking the spawns. That's why Dashy spawning all the way out on the opposite side of the map. But inside the actual point, OpTic still holding strong. Formal looking for the next set of kills, but where he is not, Scump is there. T2P able to stay inside the actual point, but Thieves, you see the spawn blip eventually does come through to set themselves up long term.
Yeah, Scump on your screen. Goes down finally, a couple of shots there from Slasher again. Those XM4s looking fine right now in the meta. Formal, 1v2 on point. Can't get both of them done. Slasher slides forward. Decent amount of control now for LA Thieves. They're going to hold this point again. Final 15 seconds seems to be the time where they make those perfect breaks. And again, it's that scrap point that is going to be keeping them ahead here in the lead. Again, 60 plus for LA Thieves. 56 there for Chicago as we go into our next hard point. We're still playing on the old patch, friends. That means that far left-hand side of the map, the dreaded barrels hill. That is where the battle will now be taking place. 13 and 6 now overall chance for Formal. It's a decent start in the kills feed for OpTic.
And Envoy might think he's blocking spawns, but you can see they're just popping up right on the other side of the rock. But once he makes his move for the attack, just trying to buy his teammates time. He can only take down one, and it looks like Formal, the farthest pushed up member for OpTic, gets cut down. Despite the attempt from Envoy, Thieves holding strong 30-point lead for the moment. I was going to say they might be able to run it up, but actually whoever was inside the hill took a gunfight, loses that, and this is a lot of time just not being picked up by either team, which is just beautiful news for OpTic. The game could have started to spiral out of control, and instead, about maybe 30 seconds gone by on this hill where no one is building anything for themselves.
Yeah, very closely contested still. Thieves just ahead by that scrap time again. They make those late breaks, they pick up a little bit of time either side, and OpTic really yet to string anything big together. Now we go back to our central position, back up to our second set of hard points, and we go all the way back to that APC, and now Dashy in control for the time being. Still eyes on that right-hand side of the map. You want to be controlling spawns for the second. That's really where the battle wants to start taking place in Chicago. They've got control for now. Good bit of work. The trades on the top side of the map. A Slasher now makes his way through. Finds a perfect angle. Takes care of a Formal. Again, here comes the trades. Dashy in a position to maybe stop the push on the point, but no! Slasher's going to find that one as well. So a big push now from Thieves. An opportunity for some damage, but it's T2P. They're the ones who are going to be answering back. Here comes Scump from up high, cleaning these players out, but Kenny there on point, staying alive for the time being chance. I mean, it's a little messy, but again, the war raging for the second set, the war raging for those second spawns.